to the feeling you had building up to the Rugby World Cup final, which, lest we forget, is only 4 test matches ago for you. But the scale of the opportunity that lies in front of you, is it a similar feeling? And if you could just also reflect on your on-field preparation this week, if it has differed in any way.
Thanks, Matt. Yeah, it is definitely similar, but I think at the same time it's different because this opportunity for a whole lot of us will not come again, and so yeah, we've went and prepared, and we tried to not tried. We also did as much preparation as we could, off the field, not on the field, and we trained as hard as we could, and we worked on stuff that we could get better from last game. So yeah, mentally, I think we're there, and we know, like, I'll never get this opportunity again. I mean, half of the team won't get this opportunity again. So yeah, we want to make sure that that's the mentality throughout the team, and that's a message has been this week. We're in a unique position, and we're very excited for tomorrow.
Some injury-enforced changes, and that means the 3rd consecutive test, you have a different starting back row, but I'm sure you're comfortable with the way you finished last week with Franco moving to 7?
No, 100%. I mean, the biggest thing in our team is control the controllables, and there's not much we can do about injuries. And we feel sad for the guys that get injured, something that we don't want. But at the same time, it's an opportunity for someone else. And I think Franco stood up. His work rate is second to none. So he has another opportunity now at flank, and all we have to do is to make sure we're chatting the whole time. He knows his role. He did it last week. Now it's another opportunity for us in the back row. Nothing changes for me or for Jasper.
Sia, you often speak about the depth of your leadership group in this team. Given that Morné Steyn is on the bench in his late 30s, and the role he played in the 2009 series win, how important has his input been, especially on the mental side that you spoke about earlier?
Yeah, no, he's been amazing. I think the first time I met Morné, his energy and how much he loves rugby, it's still the same as when I first started, when he was here. He was the playoff then already, I think in 2013. And he's still the same guy. He's still hungry, and he's been sharing a lot with the guys and preparing the guys that were playing. And now it's finally getting his opportunity. I'm excited for him, and I think it will be key for us, to calm everything down. Cool head. He's played 66 caps, I think 65 caps, and so we need that. You can't buy experience, and I think his wisdom will be a huge value for us in this test.
Stocker, for you, just looking at the opposition and the changes they've made, do you feel that this is the strongest combination that you've faced in the series? Does it suggest a different approach from the Lions at all? And then just some final words on the much talked about aerial battle, which I know has always been a key focus since you joined this management group.
Yeah, Matthew, there's a lot of things that we have done during the week just to make sure that we find out more about the players we're going to play against. And we do know the changes they've made in their side. If you look at the previous game we played against them, we felt like, physically we were up there for 80 minutes. And a guy like Bandi Aki and the partnership with Henshaw, we know those gentlemen, they're very physical. And probably also having a guy like Liam Williams in their back line, and Adams, guys that have been playing together for a while now. So we know they're trying to select their best possible combinations. And if I had to summarize everything that we are guaranteed that we will face tomorrow, is they're going to be at their best tomorrow when it comes to the physical side of the game. We know Bandi Aki is one of the tough players to play against. But once again, we're not going to focus too much on that. but it's something that we have analyzed, something that we have mentioned to our players, but we just need to make sure that we get better to it. We left last week, we had I feel like we had the last 40 minutes in the game, we had a good 40 minutes there, and we finished well, finished proper. And with the aerial contest, it's not a secret. We always spoke about it from the beginning that it's going to be massive in this series. Even if you go back to 2017 when they played against the All Blacks, it was very, very massive. And it's funny when some coaches now all of a sudden they're saying that the Springboks are playing boring rugby because of the kicking. Whereas if you go back into that 2017 series, probably there was a team like All Blacks had more than 30 kicks in general play. So, and they've won that first game. That was the game they won clean in 2017. So unfortunately, kicking is part of the game. Unless maybe there's new rules that we're not allowed to kick, maybe try something else then. But once again, we are looking forward to that aerial contest. It's going to be massive. Liam Williams is one of the best guys. He's very tough. He's very physical. He doesn't go away. So it's going to be tough for us. And once again, we're looking forward to that challenge.
Thank you both. Thank you, Raul.
Thank you, Matthew. We move on swiftly, and our next question will come from Liam.
Hi, good afternoon, guys. My question is for Sia. This has been a very difficult series to organize and to put together. We're almost at the end of it. How do you feel as player and as captain to have been part of something so unique and something so difficult? Obviously, there were unique challenges and there has been a lot of sacrifice. How do you feel as player and captain about it?
Yeah, I think it's been unique for both teams. So there's not much I can say. I think everything we went through, they went through too. So in that regard, it's always huge honor to play in the series like this. And that doesn't, anything that happened doesn't take anything away from my side, from the experience. And that's why, I'm excited for tomorrow, to that we finish strong. And hopefully it's a good game, it's a proper game for everyone. And yeah, it's been an honor for me. And there's not much I can say. I know it would have been amazing to have the people here. I don't know, I think maybe this is the first one that there's been no crowds in. But yeah, it's still going to be special tomorrow, either way. So I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, that's all I can say. You have to use what you have, you got to make sure you use what you have before you start complaining about what you don't have. And that's been our mindset. We don't have friends, they don't have friends, and it is what it is. So we try to focus on what we can control.
Thanks.
Stick, if you want to reply the same question.
What was the question again?
The question was, it's been a very difficult tour to organize and to be part of. There's been a lot of sacrifice. I mean, I take it you feel very proud to have been part of this.
Yeah, Liam, you know what? The challenges that we are facing now, it's not only the Springbok team that is facing that. I think the world out there is facing the same challenges with the pandemic. And so we can't have excuses about that, But what I can say is that for us now to be sitting here a day before the game, where we are going to a final game, I think that is what the public also deserves. It's a pity, like Sia said earlier on, it's a pity that we can't have supporters on the stadiums. But once again, with the whole everything that has been happening in the build-up, the challenges that we've been going through, Sia and them going to isolation and all that stuff, I think we can't ask for any better finish of this tournament than the game we are looking forward to tomorrow. It's more like a final game, So we are excited, and from our side, and it's good to be able to say, we've adapted very well with all the challenges because of this was new to everyone. So same goes tomorrow. I think the team that will adapt the best when it comes to the conditions, when it comes to the opportunities, I think that will be the team that's got a better chance to win the game.
Thanks.
Thank you, Stick. And we say good afternoon to James Cole from Sky UK.
Afternoon. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
The Lions have talked a lot about tempo this week and wanting to avoid any niggle, any handbags. They think it's a tactic you used, particularly in the second test, to slow the game down. Is that fair? Is that part of how you impose yourselves over the opposition, but also slow the game down so you're stronger at the set piece?
I'm not too sure when you say we were slowing the game down, but once again, remember the person who's in charge of the whistle is the ref, so when there's a TMO calls and the refs, they need more time to make decisions according to what they see on the screen. That's got nothing to do with us. So when the ball is in play, I think all our players, they make sure that they give their best. And I don't recall one of our players doing anything intentionally, to slow the play down. And people must understand now things these days because of the TMO is part of the game also. So if it needs 2 minutes to make a decision, then they need 2 minutes. Unfortunately, that's not in our control. And the best we can do as a Springbok team, we control the ball in play. We control how the tempo we want to play the game. So if they want to lift the tempo up, that is their plan. If we want to slow the ball down and make it boring, we'll do that. As other people are saying, we're playing boring rugby. But from our side, we don't go to a game intentionally to say we want to slow things down. And if the British and Irish Lions want to play touch rugby, geez, that would be nice for us. So they're more than welcome to do so. So we're not going to decide what they must do. And also, they're not going to tell us how to play the game. We'll just play according to our strengths.
And Sia, your take on that? Do you expect niggle, or are you looking to avoid niggle and play a nice, fast, open, wide game too?
We play what's in front of us. So whatever is happening in the game, we'll be involved. So the third piece is third piece. Again, if there's niggles, we're gonna get involved. We can't leave a man behind. That's just our system, and that's what we believe in. So.
Thank you, Sia. Thank you, Stocker. And Craig Ray, good afternoon in Cape Town.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. Sia, maybe for you, forget about the style of rugby. I mean, that's that conversation's gone. But does the game need a positive game in the sense that I don't mean in terms of running rugby. I mean in terms of no controversy, in terms of the best team wins the game, for the sake of the series, for the sake of rugby. Because I think it's been if we're honest, it's been quite a spiteful series in some ways off the field. Do you think it's important that the actual game is won by a team that deserves to win it without any incident tomorrow?
100%. That's always what. No, that's what we pride ourselves. If we beat them fair and square, that's fine. And I think it goes for both ways for us. That's all we want. The best team must win on the day.
Yeah. Thanks.
Thank you. Ashfaq Mohammed, you up next.
Salam, Sia, Rayan, and Butastic. Sia, in terms of the line selection, it looks like they're going quite a direct route as well, especially with the centers that they've picked and the back three. Does that mean the Springboks need to change anything in terms of fighting with fire? And also, considering your performance last week as a team in the second test, where you just seem to grow more legs because of the extra week of training and having another game, have you grown a few more legs this week as well?
We'll have to see tomorrow. But I must say, the game does help us. Playing a game, it's the only way you can get better. Game time is the most important thing. So, and I think it was our second week together, the group last week. So the full group. So yeah, that helped a lot. And for us, nothing changes. Our game plan doesn't change. We focus on what we do. Everybody knows how we play, and I don't think that's going to change at all. So there's no changes at all from our side. We're going to play the same way as we did last week.
Besides, he's growing grey. So yeah, that's one thing about him, Ashfaq.
Right, let's move on. And we say good afternoon to Luis Chiesa from ESPN in Argentina.
Hi, Sia Mzwandile. I'm Luis Chiesa from Scrums ESPN Argentina. Sia, Warren Gatland said tomorrow's sorry. Warren Gatland said tomorrow's game is a final for the Lions. Do you leave it in the same way, or is it simply a match that also serves as a preparation for the Rugby Championship?
Oh no, it's definitely a final for us too. That's been that's been the talk amongst our team this whole week. You know, we worked so hard to get ourselves in this position, and yeah, and tomorrow is everything. We're not even thinking about next week. We're throwing everything tomorrow in the game. It's a very important game for us as a group. Like I said earlier, some of us, this is it. We'll never get another opportunity to play the Lions again. So we'll be foolish if we're looking to see this game as preparation for the following week. So yeah, everyone who's involved, guys that are playing, guys that are not playing, they've thrown everything to make sure that we're prepared and ready for the game tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thank you, Louise. Ken Bolen.
Thanks, Rayan. Afternoon to you and to Sia and Mzwandile. Sia, just to follow up on that, I think many people think last week's second half was one of the best Springbok performances for a very long time. How much of a realization is it, and how much of a motivation is it this week, though, that if you guys don't win tomorrow, then all of that effort, all of that excellent play kind of falls by the wayside. It gets forgotten because the series will be lost.
Yeah, it is. That's exactly what you speak about all those things. You play to get somewhere, and now we are in a position, where we wanted to be last week. We prepared to get here. Now we're here, and we know this is the one that counts. Everything that we've done before doesn't count. So we've worked as hard as we can to make sure we fixed what we had to fix. We had a good training a week. We prepared a lot of the field. Guys are still preparing, looking at the clips to see how we can get better. This is our final. This is our final, and it does give us confidence. By the way we played last week, you take your last game into confidence, but this one is what matters the most. So we want to remember this one more than anything else.
Thank you, Sia. And Will Kelly, you're up next.
Hi there, this is one for Sia. Have you found it disappointing that this series has kind of been so full of fight, as was mentioned earlier? Do you think that it could have been a bit more of a positive series off and on the field for rugby?
So please say the first part again.
Sorry, have you been disappointed in the fact that this series has been so full of sort of backbiting and spite off the field?
To be honest, like for me, the on-field stuff is what I care about. The on-field stuff, there's enough responsibility, me performing, us as a team performing, and that I can't worry too much about what's happening off the field. We focus as the players on playing rugby on the field, and that's all we could do, and these things happen off the field. Can't control that, and I've really been on the field. It's been tough. It's been a tough rugby game. Last week was good, I think, and that's what we're looking for tomorrow. I can't think of what happened. We can't change what happened in the past. Tomorrow is what matters the most, when the first whistle goes until the last whistle goes. So I can't think too much of that. I don't want to comment on that. I just want us to focus on the game that's about to happen tomorrow, which is the most important thing.
Just on the style of play point as well, that's come up a lot in this series, and Mzwandile's talked about it today. Do you feel like the rest of the world is kind of disrespecting what you guys have achieved with the World Cup win and what you might achieve this week by saying that it's all physicality, it's all boring and all that sort of thing? Does that annoy you?
No, not at all. That's why we haven't changed our plans. We're still playing the same way we did. That's who we are. We can't run away from that. We're South Africans. We've got, it works for us. It's like us going and looking at another team that's winning, but we're complaining about how they're playing. I can't do that. They're winning. It's either you're going to join them or you're just going to learn a few things from them that you can go forward. So yeah, we can't change who we are.
Thank you. Thanks. We move on. And Nathan, good afternoon. You've been waiting patiently.
Good afternoon, Ray. I'm Molweni Matota. I have one English question for Coach Stick and plenty in his course questions for both gentlemen. Coach Stick, we have come to the decider on the topic. Tino put a stick. Okay, Stick, we have come to the decider on the topic of the starting lineups in the back line. On the other side, we have the Lions who have included one rotational swap with Ali and Connor. Liam Williams with his first start and two new players, Aki and Adams, who haven't featured in the 3-match series, who all could pose a threat as they will be hungry to make a difference. For the Boks, except Faf, who was a forced change, the backline has been kept the same right throughout the series, rightly so. They have been performing well, but psychologically, could complacency start to creep in as people could assume the backline pick themselves?
Yeah, from our side, the most important thing is we wanted to select the best possible team to play the final game for us. And unfortunately, with Faf, he got injured, so now he's not fit to play, you know. And Kobus is someone who's been with us for years, you know, and he was in the World Cup. And with his experience playing in the Northern Hemisphere, you know, that is something that actually gave us a big impact, you know, having him on the side with his experience. And then our backline, you know, geez, if you look at the balance that we've got up there, you know, with the likes of Vili at the back, with experience, you know, and the guys like Makazole and Chesden Colby with their speed, you know, those are our best possible players that we could have selected, you know, and if I don't want to read too much on their side, you know, but once again, we know that they're going to be up for the game. They're going to be physical, and those players they've selected, you know, if you talk about the guy like Liam Williams, we know he's got an X factor. If you give him an opportunity in a game, he will punish you. And in the build-up games, those warm-up games they played, Josh Adams was one of the best finishers, you know, so it's actually going to be a tough game for us. It's going to be a challenging one. But once again, yeah, we trust the players that we selected, you know, and we are looking forward to that.
Thank you. And Craig Ray, your hand is still up, or was that from a previous question?
Previous question, sorry.
Apologies accepted. Right. We have one or two more English questions, and then we'll move over to our Xhosa section. And Fatima, good afternoon.
Hi, thanks, Rayan. Afternoon, Sia and Coach Stick. This question is for both of you. I just wanted to know, in terms of your preparation, especially with the back line, have you felt that the intensity has increased a little bit this week? And also, have you felt any pressure coming up for the match tomorrow?
You want to answer about the back line? No.
Yeah, Fatima, you know what? Yeah, we know it's a big week for us, but once again, we've got a very, very good conditioning department coaches, you know, with Andy and the team. So we follow whatever instructions they give it to us and targets they give it to us as coaches. And I don't think we did really much more than what we normally do on a normal week, you know. And the key thing that for us that we wanted to make sure that the players, they really stay on top of it was the recovery, you know, because of after two massive big games, which they were physical, so the recovery was going to be key going to the final game. And for us, not really, we didn't really put much stuff extra on our players. So the most important thing was to make sure that we manage them very well, and also make sure that the recovery is at its best, you know. So no, we didn't change anything for them.
Thank you. Right. Now, our final question in English goes to Percival Young of ETV ENCA.
Thank you so much, Rayan. Good afternoon, gentlemen. Sia, can I just ask you, I heard your first answer though, about this being your last series. Can I just ask you, and I understand this is the environment we're playing in at the moment. In the past, they used to have like former players or personality coming in and giving inspiring words to the team ahead of a test match. Do you guys still do that? And do you guys still need motivation going into a test match like tomorrow?
We are in a hard bubble.
Yeah.
Okay, see, we are in a hard bubble.
No, we don't. No one can come in, obviously, but no, we don't do that. I think we give jerseys to one another now. The coaches do the handouts, and you know, it's also an opportunity to have chats, you know, to remind ourselves what our plan is going forward. And each player in this team has a responsibility, you know. And I always say, when You know, people talk about me being captain, but I know, it's like I get that label or the armband, but I leave it at the door when I get in the Springbok team room, because we all have certain responsibility. I've got my responsibility. My most important responsibility is to play, make sure I pitch up on the field, and obviously talking to the ref and making sure the discipline is good. But when it comes to things, when we come in a circle, other people talk, I have to keep quiet, I have to serve, I have to be the one listening to others. So that's what I love about that. So in that time, during the jersey handover, those leaders come up. And that's why, when something goes wrong or goes bad, we know who to look to and they can tell us what's going on. So I like that about the team. So that jersey handover gives us that opportunity to talk about those kind of things, and also for me to look to other leaders, and see where we can be better, and if the part that they in or the pressure point is working well. So yeah, that's what we use that time for now.
Thank you, Sia. And Boo, will you set us off with the Xhosa section for this afternoon?
Hi, Ray. I will happily do so. Thank you. Molweni Manen.
Sure.
Ndiyaphila, akho zikhalazo. Ndicela ubuza apha kuwe bhuti Stick. Kuthiwa ngaba baphesheya le series ye-Lions yakulo nyaka yeyona engathi yaba netyhefu imbi abayikhumbulayo kuzo zonke ii-series ezidlulileyo. Xa ucinga imehlo labantu baphesheya, akumele bangali kule nto yokuba i-series siyifumene sibe nombulelo, sine-series and sine-series njengoba ingu-1-1 iya kwi-decider. Abantu abaninzi, do you think bathatha for granted into yoba kuphantse akwenzeka, siphantse asafika apha, therefore bayakhalaza ngoku uba kwenzeke ntoni? Ndicela uphosa umbuzo nakuwe Siya, ndikubuze ngomdlalo wakho. Sikubonile yangathi khange ufumane COVID, yangathi ubungenanto ufika kwakho kumabhokobhoko, yangathi khange ukrwelwe nix yi-COVID. Uzibona njani umdlalo wakho kule veki kuphelileyo especially, and yintoni into zasiphakela yona ngomgqibelo?
Yeah, Sibu, okokuqala mandiqale kulo mbuzo wakho Chief. Ityhefu endiyaziyo ngale virus siphila phakathi kwayo ngoku, and la virus i-challenge kumntu wonke wena Sibu. So ngeyona nto ibisinike ubunzima ukuze sifikelele kule ndawo sikuyo, because of siyayazi ubuhlungu nakabahlali yabo everywhere around the world, abantu baluza abantu abaclose kubo. Yabo, so nanso ke ityhefu thina respond by hey isinike ubunzima. Lena ke isuka komakhwekhwetha kwelaqala ingaphepeza ngapha e-UK asiyazi ke tata, and singazi ube siyi-entertainer thina. Into ebalulekileyo thina sithi make sure uba siyakhosha iqala lethu libe ready for tomorrow, and ukuthi i-final ngomso. So babe sithi yona uba unaba imoshakele, and enye into ndiyayibona amaphepha kwelaqala e-UK bayathanda uthetha kakhulu, ane ngoku kufuneka thina sithule. Limkile lo xesha Sibu, liphelile lo xesha, yabo. Abazufika basixelele uba masenze izinto njani thina apha eMzantsi Afrika, and then sivele sithule thina, yabo. So ke tata ke thina umsebenzi wethu ukuthi make sure siliqela lamabhokobhoko singena between the 4 lines, sidlala umdlalo, sidlubane phaa ebaleni, and then ke tyawutywe efileyo le nto iza kwenza ke ngomso ke tata. So ke ayisiphazamisi kakhulu into ethethwa ngabantu basangapha e-UK thina, asinangxaki naloo nto thina. I-focus yethu is to play the game, and tomorrow ukuthi i-final, and like uSiya betshilo, i-focus yethu during the week besifocus ukuthi make sure uba si-ready for umdlalo wangomso, and sijonge kakhulu umdlalo wangomso, and hopefully singakwazi ukwenza abantu baseMzantsi Afrika bebe proud.
Yeah, bhuti yam umdlalo bendisebenza bhuti ngomsebenzi, ndiyancedwa nazii-teammates zam. Yeah, andiyazi mandithini because into ebalulekileyo ngulo wangomso umdlalo, and ndiyavuya nje ndifumane elinye ithuba lodlala and befile bona ibhetele kuna last week ngoku yabo. So ndiyasebenza kakhulu, akho nto intsha ndiyenzayo, ndenza lo msebenzi wami but ndifuna ukwenza kakuhle. Uthi uBlade uMinora uthi sebenza uqeshiwe umsebenzi wami lo but ngiqeshiwe, ayikho enye indlela enofuneka ndenze ngayo, and nyanzeleke sifuna uwina lena and soba ndiphinda ndilifumane ithuba lokudlala kwi-British National Lions. So ndinikezela yonke into isemandleni nam, and i-attitude yam nomsebenzi wami ngezona nto zibalulekileyo. Andikwazi zicontrol ezinye izinto but ndiyafuna, ndilambile, ndiyafuna umsebenzi wethu nyani lo. So yeah, ndinikezela yonke into isemandleni am unceda ii-teammates zam ukuthi siye phambili ngalo mdlalo. But yeah, ayikho enye indlela futhi.
Batsha namaluzu ke apha wena Sibu.
Ngolwesithathu.
Batsha nathi la afali yabasebenzela.
Akho way.
Mqeqeshi, okugqibela man ndicela uthi chatha nje kule fana uPollard, siyambona igalelo lakhe likhulu kakhulu kule team, nje yena ngabanye babadlali asithethi kakhulu ngaye, kodwa hayi noko ungamngqina kule series ba indawo yakhe ipha phezulu kwi-number 10 ze-South Africa ezakhe zadlalela amabhokobhoko.
Thina njengabaqeqeshi zange samdawuta uPollard. Siyayazi umsebenzi wakhe apha etimini, siyayazi ivalue yakhe apha etimini. So thina ke once again wena Sibu siphila eMzantsi Afrika, and uyayazi eMzantsi Afrika ke zininzi into ezithethekayo. Abanye yabona bayibona ngendlela ethile i-rugby, abanye bayibona ngendlela ethile. So akufunekanga umamele yonke into leyo natata yabo. So thina ke zange would never doubted Pollard. Siyamazi is one of the best players. He's one of the best 10s in the world. Yabona. So the fact that he was there when we won the World Cup as our key player at 10, ithemba lethu njengo one of the players that is namava, ane ungusekela mkhokeli kusiyamthanda Kolisi, and uyamnceda kakhulu apho kwasho. So la mfana uPollard ke thina no tata siyamazi ba noko umdlalo wakhe umhle, and uyabonakala ne-BMT yakhe xa kufuneke ukhatyo lwezipalini uyakwazi noko ukuphola kakuhle afocus le nto afuna uyenza, and umdlalo wakhe wangomso uzawubaleka kakhulu yabona. So once again sijonge phambili kuye kulo mdlalo, and siyayazi uba wakhe wasenzela before, and we don't have doubt uba uzawusenzela nangomso.
Thank you, Stick. Thank you, Sibu. And Nathan, we'll wrap up with you.
Thanks, Ray, again. Goals lo manibulise kaphinda. Xiyani indlalo yatsho kule mpelamveki abadlali bayelumana. Khotsho nje gqwashu umbuzile umngane wakho uFranco ba usinhle umlumile na, ngoba simbonile uvile ethwasela uHawk. Umngane wakho enye umbuzo, umngane wakho uNothe wenza irep yakhe ngoku eThekwini. Siyamazi bephoswe udlala kule series ngenxa yonzakalo. Uthini nge-recovery yakhe ngoku? And then yokugqibela uBuddha Stick nje nifake oSpeckman noJaden, nijonge phambili kwi-Rugby Championship ngoku nje nifake abanye abadlali kwiveki yokugqibela kwi-series ye-Lions.
You can answer first to Uncle Lion, then I'll answer
No, but andifuna ingena le yokuluma singathetha nayo ngomso, but because i-decision zenziwa andingendawo mna phaa sijonga phambili ngokulumana. And yeah, usikhumbuzo uyasebenza kakuhle, siyabona idolo lakhe lasondela. Iba buhlungu xa ubona itshomi yakho ifumana injali and ebehamba kakuhle kulo nyaka. And ndiyamnyonela mani aphile hopefully i-recovery yakhe ibe right, sombona mhlawumbi xa kuphela unyaka. Yeah, hopefully uzawuba right uRhulumani yam.
Yeah, undibuze mna ngabafana abanjengoJaden Hendricks. Nathan tata, ilento ukuthi when it comes to squad depth is one of the izinto ezibalulekileyo abakuthi singabaqeqeshi, and into esayiqala kuba ngo-2018 le to make sure uba asithi kaloku xa siluza umdlali ofana noBase Mtawarira and funeke sisokole sihambe siyoqala qaleni ukuze sireplace yena. So yile nto sizamayo nakwezinye ii-positions ke. Abafana abanjengoJaden Hendricks siyabazi uba noko i-potential enkulu yabo intle gqithi, and sibabonile bedlala kwi-junior teams under apha kwi-SA Rugby. So umfana esimaziyo uba une-potential kakhulu, and ukhumbule kaloku uba sisayana kwi-championship nje ukuthethile. So sifuna ukuthi make sure travelisha in case kubekho injury because of kukho ii-protocols ezinzima. Umuntu xa ejoyina isquad kufuneka abe 14 days quarantine xa overseas. So asifuni ukuchanakala apho tata yabo sithi xa sifika kwelaa cala kufumaniseke xa sine 1 or 2 injuries funeke sisokole. So that's why isquad sethu sizawubaleka uba kubekho i-depth kuzo xa siya overseas ngoba kaloku sifuna utshayela abantu tata yabo, sifuna into esikwaziyo uwina siqokelele yonke into sikwazi uwina. Bahlale bethetha ke bona bathi basidlala ibhola lapho qha thina sabe siqokelela nje thini i-silverware. Leyona nto ibalulekileyo abakuthi leyo. Otherwise it's good to banabafana abanjengo-Jaden Hendricks esquadini sethu, good to see umfana njengo-Dan to play coming back also esquadini. And ngiyavuya ubona no-Matras u-Eskom nabo ngabafana kudala bese-systemini yethu, but now bafumana ithuba and bayalisebenzisa ithuba labo. Ngeyona nto ibalulekileyo leyo tata, but kodwa ke okwangoku sijonge eyangomso tata, sifuna to make sure basidlala kakuhle ngomso, and then ke sawufocusa kwezinye izinto after that.
Funa uwina njenge-Boomers, Africa. Funa uwina njenge-Boomers.
Don't promise.
Team yam African Boomers singanda uyazi.
Oh, la team idlala egusha.
Kaloku i-team enkulu le.
Team enkulu si-Springboks. Not as a team idlala abadlala egusha.
And
Thank you, Ryan, we done that.
Bayasqueeze abantu.
Thank you very much, ladies and gents. Thanks, Nathan.
Ifunde enye into ngoku irhamba larhubuluza erharhabeni larhabula irhewu kamarhadebe umarhadebe wathi asoze ndirhabule irhewu lirhatyulwe lirhamba.
In English.
The snake slithered through the slithering. The slither is larhabula imarhewu number 1. Yazi marhewu? Umtoko. Rhabula irhewu then marhadebe said I'll never rhabula irhewu.
Abantu bagoduka ngebreak esikolweni sababuyi.
Oh, ndifunda le way uzicoach utangothi isixhosa.
Thank you, man. Ryan.
Thank you very much. On that note, then, thank you, Nathan. Thank you, both Sia and Mzwandile.